Alright, I feel like the last video I uploaded needs a little bit of preface. I proposed this challenge to my group of friends that I play Valorant with very regularly, and what I proposed is a way to track the various skill levels in the group and improvement on ability over time. One of my buddies and I have done something very similar in the past, and I think offering this challenge would be enjoyable for our group as a whole, and especially being able to compare different skill groups within our friend group and track that progress and that growth when somebody does improve. So there's a set of rules that I offered here. I'll be recording the runs as a single segment primarily. I offered if they want to do segmented runs, we totally could, just to, you know, prove our best times with each of the different individual weapons. I will only use characters that have utility abilities, i.e. Reyna. You know, she has a blind and a heal, or, you know, a way to be able to get intel on where enemies are on site. We're gonna ban things like molotovs or any damaging abilities or ultimates like Jett's knives or anything like that. I only use light armor, just to keep it a baseline. You know, you die pretty quickly with the bots, especially since they're snappy. If you do manage to shoot them, sometimes they'll miss shots or whatever. But it keeps it kind of universal, because the bots also only have 25 armor. The only exception related to that, I think, should be the shorty, as it is extremely unbalanced right now. It is unbelievably weak. If you haven't used the shorty recently, it is abysmal. I mean, the accuracy at range is awful, the damage is awful. If you go watch that video, I struggle with it a bunch. That is one of my major areas that I need to improve on, is being able to, like, swing corners with the shorty more efficiently. So for the shorty, I did end up using heavy armor and one flash. Let's see. Enemies that occasionally spawn across the room, so like one will spawn here sometimes one will spawn in the back there. If you're doing a run with like the Bucky or something, you're allowed to use your classic to pick them off, because normally if you would start the run, you would swing through here or something. Like, as you swing through, you can see, like, there's no chance, not in a million years, you'd kill somebody with the Bucky from that far, so we're allowing that to be used. Obviously, this is done as sort of a speedrun tactic. Like, you want it to be as fast as possible, without obviously being too sloppy. I got way too overzealous with some of my runs. Took really sloppy angles, especially on this box here. This is one of my worst angles to peek for some reason. I just can't aim to the left very well. When I'm swinging to the right, I have no issue. I can track perfectly, like, whenever I'm swinging a right angle, but whenever I'm swinging to the left, it's just hard for me. And I don't know why, but that's the intention of this, is to figure out why and help improve that. I will not defuse without getting all 3 enemies, so whenever you do one of these runs, 3 enemies will spawn every single round. Normally it's going to be, you know, one in each corner or something. Usually it's like, one's right here, that guy, and then one normally is closer to sight. So the intention is to test your swing ability and make sure that you can full clear an area before defusing. You don't really want to defuse if somebody on the enemy team is still alive. So, this also prevents people from just, like, playing, say, I don't know, Brimstone or Astra, and just smoking off all 3 places that they could be sitting. You know, he can peek out here, see that there's a dude in that corner, get shot at from this angle too, and then there's obviously just 3 places left. Here, here, here. Well, I guess 4 on the site, but there's one of each of these corners can be sat in, so you can really just smoke the bomb, smoke those other 2, kill this one person that's on the site, and then defuse, and it's like cheese. You can do that with every gun too. So we're gonna prevent that just by saying we have to kill all 3 of the enemies every time that you do a run. Again, if you're doing a run with like a Phantom or a Vandal or something, try not to use a sidearm, but if you do, use the classic. And again, this is to highlight strengths and weaknesses, whether it's a comfort using a certain weapon. Obviously, you know, people stick to like the Vandal or certain guns. They kind of sway towards those, like the Sheriff. I prefer the Spectre over the Stinger. That's obvious in the video. and I want to improve that ability, so I know my weak points right now are the Frenzy, the Stinger, the Phantom, and I would say probably the Marshal. I think I was just really, really sloppy with my execution in that video. I feel fairly confident with my use of the Marshal, so... I feel like, you know, again, that last video needed kind of a preface to what was going on in the video, because it didn't have any audio. I didn't have my audio working at the time. I didn't know that it was messed up. But now you have some sort of idea of why this is posted. Some of my friends might also partake in this. If they do, I'll try to link those videos to this video and to other videos that I post in the playlist. And at some point, I would like to start implementing timers in the runs. I would like to implement timers. I would like to post single segment best runs on each of my weapons, and I would eventually like to incorporate the spike planting part of the shooting range as well, which I think is, yeah, it's right here. So you can also test on your offensive capabilities and say, well, I guess, again, it's offensive but defensive. Once you anchor, you know, plant an objective and then you can defend that objective. So I feel like it's a little bit more easy than the Defusal side is, though, so we'll see how that goes. But anyways, figured I'd just throw this out there and just kind of use it as a preface to why the other video was completely silent and why it was there in the first place. But thanks again, and enjoy.